Hi, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils Health Matters and Living the Wholesome Life. And we are on week 29, day 2 of our positive, peaceful affirmations that we are doing every day, Monday through Friday, usually, unless we have some unforeseen circumstances. Anyway, we are following Dr. Susan Lawton's book, Positive, Peaceful Growth Calendar. And I just have this cough that I would just surely love to go away. Anyway, if you love positive affirmations, my cough is going to go away. If you love music therapy, I think maybe it's time to put on some Bach. It's one of my favorite. Bach's Joy of Man's Desiring is one of my favorite, I think one of the most healing songs out there. Anyway, at least for me it is. And if you love essential oils and aromatherapy, you are going to love this book. You can buy it at Aromatools or Oil Life. So, the affirmation for this week is, I am anticipating extraordinary things happening. Okay, I would love your thoughts on this. What are you anticipating that is extraordinary that is going to happen? So right now, around the world, we are dealing with a pandemic. And I was thinking that in times of hardship, in times of darkness, our lights can shine bright. I'm anticipating that. Like can I just tell you about my neighborhood? So in my neighborhood, we are all reaching out to each other. I'm trying to make sure that no one is missed, to make sure that everyone feels loved and that everyone is taken care of and that everyone has what they need. So I'm going to give you some examples of this. And I think that reaching out with love is extraordinary. So in the first couple days, when all of this kind of seemed to come closer to home, like I got so many calls. Hey, Suzanne, I'm just checking up on you and just making sure, how are you doing? And how is everyone in your family? Are you all well? How's your finances? How's your jobs going? Is there anything that we can help you with? And so I know that so many of us in our community reached out to others. Now, let me tell you something a little bit about my faith. So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And in our church, every family is assigned ministering a brother in the, congregation, that we call them wards, congregation wards. So a brother in our ward who is assigned to that family to look after them. And not only that, so every family is getting looked after in our congregation, but not only that, like every sister also has 2 sisters or more assigned to her to look after her and just to make sure that she's doing okay, and is there anything we can help with? Now, is that only happening in our community? No, we are trying to reach out to everyone, whether and there are a lot of people in my faith, in my community, like in my little neighborhood. I would say maybe half. Anyway, but we're trying to reach out to everyone, whether they're a member of our faith or not, and to make sure, hey, how is everything doing? Do you need anything? Are your needs being taken care of? Would you, to the elderly people, we're reaching out. Do you need us with us to shopping, right? And so, like, I think that's extraordinary. Caring for one another, loving one another is extraordinary. We've had so many examples of this. I'm just going to tell you a few. So there's this cute old family. Well, not old, okay, but there's this cute, darling family in our community, on our street actually. But they did this all over our neighborhood. What they did is they tied this beautiful yellow ribbon around everyone's mailbox. Now, this family kind of does that most Christmases, just to let us know, or maybe not, it's yellow, it's probably not yellow at Christmas, it's probably some beautiful Christmassy ribbon, right? But this person did yellow ribbons, just hey, we love you, just letting you know We love you. We know you're here and we love you. Other people have made homemade treats and passed them out, or passed out little fruit basket thingies, or another person, which I thought this was super, super cool, but another person went around, well, we actually, in our neighborhood, we have a really active Facebook site for our neighborhood, and people, as they move in, hey, this is who I am, and introducing themselves and posting up things that they really like and they want to share, or if they're getting, like if they have shoes that are too small for them, hey, someone just outgrew these shoes, and does anyone need them, right? So we have a very, very active community Facebook page, and this darling woman saw this idea somewhere else and she ran with it. So basically what she did is she took two little neighborhood Facebook groups that I'm part of in our little area, and said, hey, this woman is going around photographing people on their doorsteps, and just for all of us to remember what we looked like and how we were at the start of COVID-19. And she's like, anyone who wants me to come to their house, just let me know, just respond. And she took like 2 days, maybe even like a week or two. Anyway, and she went around to everyone's house who wanted it, and took our pictures, and then sent them to us and kind of posted it on our little neighborhood Facebook group, so we could see who are all the families like in the neighborhood, right? Anyway, what I'm saying here is that the people in my neighborhood are doing what they can to show love. Let me give you one other example. So there's another woman in my area, neighborhood, whatever, and she posted online into our little into our little neighborhood group, how she challenges us all to a dance-off, right? And her family did this cute little dance, and then this other family responded with this really cute, darling dance. And she's doing what she can to keep our spirits high through this whole thing. So, I think that's extraordinary. We have people who are afraid. We have people who are sad. We have people who are depressed. We have people who are lonely, right? We have people that are bored, that's for sure. All the children who can't play with their friends anymore and they're super bored, right? Anyway, and we have this incredible opportunity to reach out to others and to say, to love on each other. I think that's extraordinary. Now, another way that I thought that I am personally anticipating extraordinary things happening in it, not just that we're increasing how we love and show love to each other, but we're going to learn some amazing things through this. I'm just wondering, when do you feel like you learn the most? Do you learn the most through good times, or do you learn the most to hard times? From hard times. And I'm going to say probably I've learned, the most Christian characteristics through hard times. I've learned the most long-suffering. I've learned the most patience. I've learned the most hope when all hope seems gone. I've learned the most whatever. So I learned the most hard things. Now, I wish that wasn't the case. Like, it would be super, super nice to be learning through good things. But usually if it's a good time, I'm usually enjoying it. And not so much learning goes on. Or not so much, I'm just going to say that maybe not so much stretching of my spirit goes on. So, I think we are going to get our spirits extraordinarily stretched. And we have the opportunity, the extraordinary opportunity, to turn toward Christ and to tighten our relationship with Him, and to turn toward each other and to tighten our relationships with each other, or we have the choice, and we can turn away from each other. We can be grumpy and grouchy and whatever with each other, right? Or And we can turn away from God if we want. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we are going to turn toward God. We are going to turn toward each other. And extraordinary things are going to happen. That's my guess. Okay. So I am anticipating extraordinary things happening through all of this. Okay. That's the affirmation that we are that we are focusing on this entire week. I am anticipating extraordinary things happening. Okay, so the affirmation for today is, I am comfortable allowing others to be good at what they choose. Now, I had to think of this one and kind of wrestle with this one. I don't know that I'm done with the wrestling on thinking about this affirmation, because I thought, I don't think that if one of my children was choosing to be really good at a video game and spending like 9 hours a day playing video games to try to be the best at a video game that they could be, that I would be comfortable allowing them to make that choice. As a parent, I think it's my job to lead and guide and even set some healthy boundaries of what goes on in our house and what doesn't go on in our house. If someone was going to choose to, and please excuse me for this very, very harsh scenario, but if someone was going to choose to create pornography, I would not be okay with that. I would fight that with every ounce of my soul, because pornography is so damaging to all of society. Okay? So, I'm still wrestling. If you can probably see, I'm still wrestling with that, with this affirmation today. I am comfortable at allowing other people to be good at what they choose. Okay? But that said, I am very comfortable about allowing other people to be good at what they choose, as long as that is in the parameters of the gospel, right? As long as that is in the parameters of what leads to happiness. I am an advocate of happiness, and I know that keeping the commandments of God, keeping His laws, keeping His principles leads to happiness. So if I saw someone destroy their life with drugs, I would do everything I could to invite them to change. If I saw someone walking down a path that I knew would be destructive to them, I would do my best to invite them to change, because I am an advocate for happiness. But that said, people have different gifts, and aren't we so glad about that? Aren't we so glad that, like, I know someone who's incredible at playing the piano. I am not. I love that they are. I love that that's what they chose to be good at. I know someone that is good at, like my son, he's like good at like all this technology stuff that brings this whole video thingy to you. I love that that's his gift. And so I try my best to praise others for their gifts and encourage others in their gifts. Gifts that help everyone. Sometimes we can't see how something is helping us. And so I try my best. God, can you please open my eyes on how this is helping? Anyway, I don't know if you're wrestling with this. Maybe you'll have it all figured out on this one. If you do, definitely post it in the comments. But anyway, the affirmation for today is, I am comfortable allowing others to be good at what they choose. I'm going to say, I am comfortable about championing, there has to be a better way of saying that, being a champion of every good gift. That's going to be my, I'm tweaking the affirmation. That's going to be my affirmation for today. I am comfortable about championing every good gift. Being a champion of everything. There's a scripture, like in, I know Paul from the New Testament, he said this line, but there's also like an article of faith in our church, and it's the 13th article of faith. Caleb, get started on this. We believe in being honest, true, chaste, benevolent, virtuous, and in doing good to all men. Indeed, we may say that we follow the admonition of Paul. We hope all things. Caleb, grab me the scriptures, please. Hurry, grab me a triple combination. Anyway, because I want to read this to you word for word, because it's that important. But, okay, so, reading the 13th article of faith, here it goes. We believe in being honest, true, chaste, benevolent, which means doing good to others, right? Virtuous, and in doing good to all men. Indeed, we may say that we follow the admonition of Paul. We believe all things, we hope all things, we have endured many things, and hope to be able to endure all things. If there is anything virtuous, lovely, of good report, or praiseworthy, we seek after these things. So, I am going to champion everything virtuous, lovely, of good report, or praiseworthy. I can be a champion of that. I can't be a champion of all things, but I can be a champion of all things good. Okay, so moving on. The song that we are listening to this week is I'm Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. And I'm like, I kind of struggled with this yesterday. I'm like, so many things that are bad that are happening. And this is such a happy song. We can be the people who find joy in everything, and we know that extraordinary things are going to happen with this. So we can find the joy. So I'm really, I love that song. And I'm loving the song for this week. Okay, so the diffuser blend that we're diffusing this week is 2 drops of helichrysum, which is the oil for pain, and we'll be talking about that in just a minute. 2 drops of cedarwood, which is the oil of community, and 2 drops of wintergreen, which is the oil of surrender, which we'll be talking about on Thursday. But today we are talking about helichrysum, the oil for pain. Now, get my little double-sided sheet of notes that I have. I'm not going to read everything off to you, but just wanted to introduce you a little bit to the emotional gifts of helichrysum today. Friday we'll be talking about the physical gifts. So helichrysum essential oil comes from a beautiful yellow flower that is actually nicknamed immortelle because when it is picked, it doesn't wilt and it doesn't lose its color. It remains looking as beautiful as ever. That's what I want for all of us. Through the hardships that we go through, we are going to stay as beautiful and as loving and as, just wonderful as ever. And you know what? We're going to get better, in fact, right? We're going to get better. Okay, anyway, back to helichrysum. Its medicinal properties have been used for thousands of years, especially in countries like Italy, Spain, Turkey, Portugal, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. The only thing I know about Bosnia and Herzegovina is that it was historically there was a incident that happened there that kind of sparked World War I. At least that's my extent of World War I knowledge. Okay, Caleb, I'm gonna need some Kleenex. Can you please give me some Kleenex? Okay, so y'all know that we've already said it's the oil for pain, which means that we can probably guess that it is super good for when we're trying to heal different emotional issues. Okay? It can help us get in touch with unresolved emotions and gently restores memories so we can work through them. Thanks, hun. Okay, excuse me. Thank you. Thank you for being patient. Okay. It is great for people who have had a long history of suffering, hardship, or abuse. Again, right? Going through intensely painful things. Helichrysum can help. It can help us let go of pain. It can help us open up to other people. It can help us feel more trusting and sociable. Now, you know, if you've been watching enough of these, you will definitely know that I never say, oh, this little oil is magic in a bottle. Never. You know what? If you're using an essential oil for an emotional issue, you know, you gotta still do the emotional work, right? You still gotta do the forgiving. You still gotta do the let's look at what's really going on. You still have to do the Heavenly Father, can you please help me get over this, right? Because there's so many things, I believe, at least I know for me, that there's just so many things we can't get over emotionally ourselves. We need God's help. So if you're using Helichrysum for an emotional issue or any other oil for an emotional issue, please know you're still going to have to do all the emotional work. And, you know, if you're like me, you're also going to have to invite God into your life to help you try to get over things. Okay. It can be helpful with defense mechanisms. It can help with anger management. It is a comforting oil for when we are working through very difficult emotions. Helichrysum can help us see the good that's happening around us. If there are emotional blocks or repetitive patterns, it can help us let go of them. It can help us let go of what doesn't serve us. It's great for birth trauma or really any other type of trauma. And it's because it's so good for so many things that are painful, I'm sure that you could see that it would be very, very good for those who are mourning over loved ones who have left. Okay? So this is what you can mix it with. You can mix it with wintergreen if you're trying to change your attitudes. You can mix it with cilantro if you're just trying to do an overall emotional cleanse. You can mix it with Douglas fir or Siberian fir if you're trying to kind of break some of the generational chains. Maybe your family has through the generations had a problem with anger or different addictions. Maybe they've had a problem through the generations with using humor inappropriately to hurt instead of to lighten and edify. So whatever it is that you're trying to break, mixing it with Douglas fir or Siberian fir can help. You can also mix it with bergamot or ginger or lemongrass to help just bring back your confidence and your personal power that you can get through these things. Okay, the negative emotions that Helichrysum can help with is intense emotional pain, anguish or trauma, feeling hopeless, feeling despairing, and feeling wounded, right? And the positive properties that it can bring in is feeling healed, feeling courageous, feeling hopeful, feeling transformed, persevering, and just being determined. Okay? Helichrysum is an amazing essential oil. We'll be talking about the physical properties on Friday of Helichrysum with all the other essential oils in our diffuser blend. Okay, so those are some of the emotional gifts of Helichrysum. If you've used Helichrysum emotionally, go ahead. Tell us how you've used it. We would love to hear. I just wanted to remind you that the diffuser blend that we're diffusing all week is 2 drops of Helichrysum, the oil for pain, 2 drops of cedarwood, the oil for community, and 2 drops of wintergreen, the oil of surrender. The song the song that we are listening to this week is Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. We know that the hardships that we are going through are going to get over eventually. Everything comes to pass. Nothing comes to stay. So we don't have to be sad through this. We can be sad, and there will be times of sadness through this, I am sure. But we can be joyful. We can be joyful knowing that it will have an end and that we will come out being better and having learned something. Okay, And the affirmation for today is I am comfortable allowing others to be good at what they choose. And I'm going to tweak that affirmation for me, saying I am championing every good thing in others. And the affirmation for this week is I am anticipating extraordinary things happening. I know extraordinary things are going to happen. And as we look for the good and we try to be the good in our lives and in other people's lives, and as we try to bring God into our lives more, extraordinary things are going to happen. They are. Okay, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life, telling us all that I know that we have the power in us with God to make it a great day. Bye-bye.